Hello everybody. Hello. Hello everybody and welcome back. And in this section, as I said, what we will be doing is we will be coding our own spoofers, sniffers, DNS sniffing, packet sniffers, basically FTP credential sniffers, MAC changers, and so on. Now, the first thing that we will start with is the actual MAC changer, since that is one of the most simple things we can code from now on. What it allows you to do is actually change your MAC address, which then potentially can be used to bypass some other security measures that the target might have. For example, if you want to actually connect to the certain Wi-Fi, and that certain Wi-Fi either uses, for example, a whitelist or a blacklist, you can then use a program to change your MAC address in order to bypass either the blacklist or the whitelist. If your MAC address is, for example, blacklisted from a certain wireless point, or basically anywhere else, you can bypass that with just changing your MAC address to a different MAC address, and then you will be able to connect. Now, if there is a certain whitelist on the target running, for example, they only allow a certain type of MAC addresses, you can then, for example, run an authentication attack on the wireless, or change your MAC address to the MAC address of the client that was connected to the target wireless, and then proceed to actually enter the wireless hotspot. So there are a bunch of other things you can also do with the MAC changer, but for now on, let us see how we can code it. Now, in Kali Linux, there already comes a program that can do it for you. So for example, if you just type MAC changer, you can see that it will actually print you the usage of the program itself. So MAC changer, let us see -- help, what it has as an options. It has the help option. The most important options are right here, which is the permanent, so reset to original permanent hardware MAC address. Now this is your official MAC address that you actually get. It is hardwired into your device, and basically this is the MAC address that you will actually have once you buy, for example, a new laptop or a new PC or something like that. Now, we have an option to actually set a fully random MAC address. What this will do is, for example, let me just show you. So MAC changer, so print the MAC address and exit. Let us see my current MAC address. So minus show. Not really sure why this option doesn't really work. So MAC changer help does work. Minus P, minus S. Not sure why doesn't it work, but it doesn't really matter. What we can do is we can actually set a fully random MAC address with the -R command. So just run -R. Oh, so yeah, of course. In order for you to actually run this command, you need to specify your interface, so your networking interface. Now, in order for you to check your networking interface, you need to just type ifconfig in your terminal, and you will see your bunch of networking interface if you have multiple connected, such as some wireless networking interface, some cable networking interface, the loopback interface, which we are really not interested in at the moment. So what we are interested in is this interface right here, which you most likely all have, or not most likely, you must all have if you're running Kali Linux, since it is by default the name of the interface for the Kali Linux. Now, you might also have some different name interface, such as LAN 0 for the wireless interface. You can check that one out as well, but for now on, in order for you to check the MAC address of this interface, you can just copy the name and run the MAC changer, and first of all, show the MAC address, and then for that interface. So you just type here --show, and then the name of the interface itself. And you can see that the current MAC is this MAC address for my interface or for my Kali Linux machine at the moment. And my permanent MAC address is the same MAC address, since we didn't really change it yet. So make sure that at the end of every command, you specify the name of your interface, otherwise this won't work. In order for me to actually change my MAC address, I will use the option -R. And then I will also add my ETH0 interface, which I am currently connected on the internet with, and run this once again. And we can see right now that the current MAC was this one, and the new MAC address which this program gave me is this one right here. It is fully random, but if we wanted to, we can actually specify the MAC address that we want. So it is best used once you encounter a whitelist on a target. You can specify any MAC address you want. So let us see how we can do that. Let's run the MAC changer --help. So we can specify it with -m and then -mac equals this. So we will use -mac equals, and then we will specify some random IP address, or pardon me, MAC address. So let us do that. -mac equals, and then we can specify 223344556677. Make sure to separate all of these digits by the double dots. So right here, they are all separated. So 2 digits, then 2 dots, 2 digits and 2 dots. That is the syntax for the MAC address. And at the end, we need to add the name of our actual interface, networking interface. And we can see that the current MAC, which was the MAC that we changed previously, is now changed to the 223344556677, which we specified in our command. And this is basically how MAC changer works, but this is not a program that we coded. So what we want to do is actually code something similar to this. It can be either rather simple, or if you want, there are 2 ways to do this. We can do one way with the actual MAC changer, which will just take a few lines to code. And we can do another way, because there is a way to change the MAC address with the Linux commands themselves. Let me just show you how you can do that. So you can do that. First of all, you need to put your interface down. So in order to put your interface down, you need to type here ifconfig eth0 down. Once you press enter, if you just type here ifconfig once again, you can see I no longer have the eth0 networking interface specified right here, since I put it down. And then once you put it down, you can change the MAC address with this command. So ifconfig, then the interface, which is eth0. Then you need to specify HW for the hardware, and then the ether, since we are changing the Ethernet interface. We want to specify after that the new MAC address, which will be 334455667788. Cannot assign requested address. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. Let's just do AABB. CCDDEEFF. And we changed our MAC address to be AABBCCDDEE and FF. If we check our MAC address with the actual MAC changer, we can see that our current MAC address is AABBCCDDEEFF. And all you have to do after that is actually put your interface back up with the eth0, ifconfig eth0 up. And if you just type ifconfig once again, you're good to go. You can see that your eth0 is back once again, and you have it up and running. Your Ethernet MAC address, here it is specified. It is new one, and it is the one that we changed to.